My name is Danila, and this is the story of how I lost myself, found love, lost it Agnand, somehow, found myself once more. I live in a small town called Brighton Bay, just a few hours from New York City. It's a quiet place, where the streets are calm, the smell like fresh bread and cinnamon, and the sound of the ocean is always nearby. I'm 29 years old, and I work as a receptionist at a small beachside hotel. Life here is simple. Some might even call it boring, but, to me, it was safe, predictable, familiar. I had a small circle of friends, a cozy apartment with books stacked in every corner, and a routine I could rely on. I wasn't looking for love. In fact, after a string of failed relationships, I told myself that love was too complicated, too painful. I had decided it was better to be alone, but life, it has a way of bringing someone into your world when you least expect it. That someone was Michael. He came to the hotel on a business trip. There was something different about him from the moment he walked in, calm, polite, and a little tired. His eyes were soft, his smile was gentle, and when he spoke, it felt like the world slowed down for just a second. When he thanked me for checking him in, it wasn't the usual polite nod. It felt real, personal. I noticed the way he looked at me, not in a flirtatious way, but kind, warm. I smiled back without thinking. The next morning, he came down to the lobby and asked me about the town. I told him where to find the best coffee, the quietest beach, and the little seafood restaurant only locals knew about. He listened, really listened, and that caught me off guard. Most people don't. From then on, we started talking more. He stayed for 2 weeks, and every evening after work, he would come down to the lobby just to talk. Some days, we walked along the beach. Other nights we sat by the lighthouse watching the sky turn from gold to navy blue. We talked about everything: book, dreams, music, life. He told me about the stress of his job in the city. I told him about the peaceful rhythm of mine. I felt comfortable around him. I felt seen. One night, as we walked along the shore under a sky full of stars, he turned to me and said, "Being with you feels like peace." Those words stayed with me. And I think that's the night I began to fall for him. When his trip ended, he left Brighton Bay, but he didn't leave me. Not really. He texted every day. We called every night. We shared stories, laughter, silence. I missed him more than I ever expected to. A month later, he returned, but this time, not to the hotel. He rented a small house near the harbor. He invited me over. We cooked dinner together, danced barefoot in the kitchen. It felt like we'd been together forever. But then one night, something changed. We were curled up on the couch, sipping tea. He looked at me serious, nervous, and said, "Danila, I need to tell you something." My heart started to race. "I'm married," he said. "I have 2 children." I felt the world tilt. He said he didn't mean to hide it. He hadn't expected to meet someone like me. That his marriage wasn't built on love anymore. That he stayed for the kids. I walked outside into the cold night. The ocean roared in the distance. My heart felt like ice. He followed me, stood quietly behind me, and said, "I understand if you never want to see me again." I nodded, and I walked away. That night, I couldn't sleep. I was angry, confused, hurt, but I also missed him. And I hated that I did. The next day, he messaged, "I'm sorry, I miss you." I didn't reply, but I couldn't stop thinking about him. A week later, we met by the beach. I told him I felt betrayed, that he should have told me the truth from the beginning. He said he understood. He didn't make excuses. He simply said, "I care about you." And I stayed. I know what people will think, that I became the other woman, that I made a terrible choice. Maybe I did, but at that time, I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe that love was stronger than circumstance. So we continued, in secret. He visited Brighton Bay once or twice a month. He stayed in that little house, and I would go there after work. We shared dinners, soft music, old movies, quiet laughter. It felt real, but like a dream I wasn't allowed to hold on to. Never went out in public. We never took photos. No future plans, just borrowed moments. And yet, I felt loved. He listened. He remembered the little things. He brought me books I had once mentioned in passing. He kissed my forehead like I mattered. But deep down, I knew I didn't have all of him. Just a piece, a fragment. Still, I didn't leave, because I was afraid, because I loved him. Or maybe just because I didn't want to be alone again. But, slowly, something in me started to change. I stopped smiling like I used to. I said no to friends. My world became small, just him and silence. I built my days around his messages, his visits. I lost myself. One night, after he left, I stood on the beach and whispered to the waves, is this love? Or am I just lost? The weeks passed. He kept visiting, but I began to feel tired, not just in my body, but in my heart. I was always waiting for love that wasn't really mine. He never left anything behind. No toothbrush, no shirt, number, trace. He had a whole life where I didn't exist. One evening, I finally told him, I'm tired of living in your shadow. I want more. I need more. He said, I love you, Daniela. And I asked, then why don't you choose me? He looked away. It's not that easy. I have a family. And I realized something. I was never going to be chosen. That night, I cried, not because he was cruel, but because I saw the truth. After that, I stopped calling. I stopped replying. I took walks by the sea again, just me and the wind. I started journaling every night. It helped me find the pieces of myself I had buried. He still messaged, I miss you. Can I see you? But I didn't answer. Then one day he showed up at my door. We talked. I told him everything, how I felt like a shadow, how I was tired of waiting for a love that could never be mine. He said he couldn't leave, not for me, not for anyone. And I knew this was goodbye. When he left, I cried again, but it felt different, like I could breathe again after holding my breath for too long. And then I began to heal. I spent time with my friends again. I went back to reading. I enrolled in a small writing class at the community center. I wrote about my dreams, my pain, my hope. It felt good. One evening after class, I stopped by a bookstore. I saw a man browsing travel books. He smiled. I smiled back. His name was David. We started talking about books, the cold weather, writing. It was simple. And it was enough. Weeks turned to months. David and I met after class. We walked, talked, sat by the sea. One night, I told him the truth about my past, about Michael, about waiting, hurting, hoping. He looked at me and said, you're brave, and you deserve better. That night, I didn't feel ashamed. I felt understood. Slowly, gently, David became part of my life. He never rushed me. He never tried to fix me. He just stood beside me, and in doing so, he showed me what real love looks like. Now, when I look in the mirror, I see someone I recognize again. The girl who waited for messages, not the woman who cried herself to sleep, but me. Danila. Strong, kind, alive. And if you asked me now, was it all worth it? Yes, because in losing someone, I found myself, and in finding myself, I opened the door to a love I truly deserve.